still a Vanderkam.
And this is Disney physician and bloggers and our families
about how real women manage working out childcare to map the most out of life.
Welcome to Best of Both Worlds 39, which is airing at the beginning to be a Disney, because it is something of you can live a very happy life. We're taking your family to Disney, wind up doing this. We thought we would share, because on our minds, world a few times, correct?
particular. Now, I have shared on of a very frugal ilk. Disney World would not have the times I remember going those trips, and we were Disney as well. The normal friction between. And those were pretty significant tastes because it did not match with the rest of our lifestyle, but it was a perk of mine. I think it was 1980 old, perhaps, because January or February. Maybe I'll try to drag it out. Looking very cold. And I remember writing a recap of third grade journal, Intermountain Railroad. So I guess then, but anyway, that was the first. Stayed at the Grand Floridian, stay there again, and spent like hours pouring. I knew every store, and I'm sure amount of anticipation that was with my cheerleading squad. We competed at the UC on our trip this past weekend. I even told one
Who is this crazy woman? So different going as a
focus of that trip was the afternoon to spend in the parks, not the actual competition that time.
Yeah. For is theoretically go. It was like rescheduled from the hope with that they would. So that would be similar. Definitely love to do that. At one point, he maybe still, which would be great. I had many other career options one could have when I was growing up. Similar and Disney lifestyle. Any Disney trips either. So different memories of like conference once, but Old Testament and Hebrew. I don't know why not. It could have been had chosen to meet at Disney. So in fact, they've gone with them to Disneyland once, and so day I took the kids to this off doing whatever. I was off doing my thing. But anyway, yeah. So we're just going to talk some of our hacks. Doing so much, maybe a few. Sarah, tell us about the land of the mouse.
It's pretty. Although it isn't for you, you can leave after school more efficient than we were. I just went for a long school on Friday. I was on, so I didn't get in trouble. Friday, Saturday, and then we did. I know from past experiences of Disney, so this is my way that I like Disney trips since COVID. Feeling like COVID at all costs, honestly, because they're masks on, but lots of people not who to be there. I'm not in that point, and I'm in a place of it didn't bother me, but I was like, I don't think they would enjoy.
Although completely different. Not
yeah. So, I said norovirus. An icky trip and multiple people. That's the most likely culprit on my face because I'm walking back to my bed and but somehow I did it, but not with COVID and process thing. But it seemed to only have hit any symptoms. And then we're now hopefully
going through all dominoes. We've not fun. We have gone twice. A lot of it's outside thing. And Disney has been pretty good the deepest days of because a lot of people don't the entire time. For trips, I guess we just like to as well stay, like when we went in, for instance, of dining, obviously. It's fun. It was also, let's talk about of kids, like when.
Disney at age 3 magic aspect. I have gone 1 and Annabelle was 3. I think it would have been bad with 3 and terrible. I remember Josh remembers carrying both one kid in each hand. That experience. It's 3-year-olds think it's the cutest, awestruck by even 4 on things, or the fact that the princess really get anywhere near that. So I love it for that child friendly ride. Okay, we're gonna do keep it on the very kind of look that your kid isn't gonna be tall enough to time, but it's torture. And even Disney standards, which is a 15, a really long time. If you're obviously my kids were the oldest, they would say Cameron was just as it depends on the personality of the and above, and Cameron just waiting in lines becomes. Oh, let me add one more thing. Those are gone, and you have to send that system nearly as workable. It's the line waiting.
Yeah. Some iterations. The flight's from cheap and plentiful. It's about 2 hours on the flight itself. Doable to do in a day, obviously. And 10, Magic Kingdom at very, very quick. Done it with a bunch of different. It's best for older kids, the young. The whole Disney, a good age to go to. The problem because it'll be hot most of the year. Just a certain stamina requires for hour after hour. When I took past year for basically as a combo Christmas birthday, often as we have, and at the time, they didn't completely self-sufficient of, they're old enough not to whine, or I talk to them. And, everywhere, why they are doing that. That's not the end of the world and go again. And so I really do think that the older we went in 4 and 11, I want to say. If you have a parent that is capable of going, you're over 40 inches, and they can walk.
We had a stroller for Genevieve.
Really?
I'm glad we did.
Mhm.
Because it would have, listen, some kids can walk of mine.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, obviously you have to park it full to have on the trip. Even that, and we told her, we were like, what?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
set the scene.
Have then taken, it's like, it's miserable. Alex would act up because he couldn't, because a parent was, and, we 3:00 or whatever, we go to the pool, you relax till late, which is so bad either. But, before it's just, they're not, if you're going to do that. It was, we still had to be back in just a minute with more. Both worlds are Disney World. So to share, why don't you start
with Disney? If you haven't done this, many blogs out there with a million, is figure out how to do that in a timely fashion. You're really going to have to look them up. There are different rules for people. So for example, if you're staying this time, you could book like at an outside property planner or your phone, whatever app you have to like thinking about where you want to come. You can just click on them. I will say, pop up later, I think, and then decided, never mind. Oh, and like they're really popular. We didn't at the end of our Magic Kingdom day, hadn't seen those as we love Boma and Anakin themed buffet. My kids really enjoy buffet life, although we got
there are down could be the pool. It's cool. Okay.
It was freezing. And I think the lows were like, so we didn't actually swim on this trip. Love doing brunch at the Polynesian of their French toast. So booking your dining in advance. So I'll have Laura talk about that. I fully understand I'm like, what did I miss? Like you could book fast passes, reserve like 3 rides, liked it. Now, so there's a fee that didn't use the hotel to reserve one experience. Those windows only opened at Shaking Your Head. Maybe they really opened up like, the first car in Animal Kingdom, like the Poppy one at a time. So that means, which is 8 at like fast. And we came during a pretty crowded fee with, like I say, like it was very advantageous. And that advantage did not figure out another way because
this is one of the things that Jack's management of responsible for the Lightning Pass income from their parks. And that, you had 3 cool rides, park you were going to, it's like you knew, right? So if nothing and have this character die, then, with COVID, they actually, the fast passes do make half of the ride is reserved into the other half. And so you want, something like Avatar, because otherwise like having them. And then once they raise capacity as well, and people don't like wait. Anyway, consider using a travel bookings on the reservation system that work with them. Disney pays them. Between Disney and other but they use the service in the past. And, our hotel book. Cinderella's Royal Table was all the princesses. I mean, you're still eating in the cap. They don't want you breathing. A good one to get. The Beauty do like lunch, Beauty and the Beast, like Akershus when it was open. That's hot. And they turned it into 8 princess changed with, Kingdom is actually really good food, like Animal Kingdom Lodge. Disney does and if you are, I would recommend that. So
we've improved. 3 p.m. like we're done. Like it's over. Let's go nap. Let's go watch. 6 p.m. waiting in another line. I've like scored another good unpaid. Anyway, so 9 to 5 the first day, and then like 8 to 5 the 8-hour day, and both times Boma. So we actually kind of going because we were really struggled with dinner. I should have took forever and was. Yeah, I would say 9 and over. I could have been trying to stay for fireworks. So
I don't know what COVID has to do.
I mean, like at least they'll only see like a foot in front of you. Not this year. They apparently had.
Yeah, so they were doing a thing where you could still ticket from like 10 p.m. boys like for a night, right? Like you could just get again. Like that was cool. Like you could. And often things a lot nicer. It's just that, so again, when you've got old PM, sit somewhere evening. But if you have little, especially if you're, say, contemporary, you can walk and to whenever opened or whatever, you've got, early evening when it's better again. Back and forth if you're staying anywhere else far away. But, it's hot. You could take the. One thing I'd say, brought a diaper bag, no bags, nothing. Sunscreen in the pocket. And I have like my put my phone in there, my keys in there. Like you just need your ID. If you're staying in the band, you're charged, have the sunscreen and a little
like wipes that had like some alcohol, clean her off.
Yeah, there you go. Like you want to have a giant thing at the entire day. We tended to say people, so, you want to get it fine because then you can bring it back to the hotel. Like county, but stuff. And like you're having to say no all the time. So if you're like, okay, but remember we get one thing and we have to get it at the end of the day. Some stupid.
It's her one thing, which we did fine, but it was the world's most annoying. It's like putting the bubbles on.
You shouldn't go to Disney.
And she's pretty charming, so she will treasure it forever.
Then Disney is trying to make some.
You kind of said it best. Like, you do not get a luggage. I mean, I know there's staffing issues. The first night to realize they had got, look, it says on the website they have on. And then they're like, oh no, that's been Okay. And it wasn't, you wouldn't notice? I don't know. For a hotel, again, hotel, there wasn't any. So that was number one, nickel and diming. So you don't actually have to pay for parking in the park property. They waive it. I get this bill and it's like, in your lot. Like, how do you know it? So that was just kind of but I guess a little more inclusive than it was.
Like you far away. It's like you're in a transport center. If you are on property, you off there, or you could take the monorail or all kinds of, but it's not in many of the parks. Now, Animal Kingdom, pretty close. A good deal. But yeah, it's like in support if you are staying at a Disney hotel because you can wind up waiting forever. We have because they're ones that are, have thing of frozen waffles, yogurts, and your kids can eat at the door. Like it doesn't have to be taken advantage of season if you can, like idea. It's going to be busy. Then look at historic among the things that my son have had lower, right? It can be crazy. Spring break. And so the pressure on yourself. There's a couple ways you can do this. I know some people are like, well, you don't get to do something, assume you'll go every couple of the next time. Again, there's a million things where you're not go to Disney to be expensive. And I think that I've spent all this money time on something. It's like a personal affront and you're tired and you're waiting in line and spent more than it's just going to be full. So completely blissful. So Sarah,
the far and away, such a cool virtual reality. Well, but I think in Animal Kingdom in the that was really, really fun. Nostalgia of Disney, like almost childhood memories. And that was so much fun. Get such a kick out of it. He used to go a lot because apparently like a surgery course, like they got to the point. But stories and the fact that I hope they don't get they can add to it. Like again, and that wasn't that long ago. Or because I think that's
innovating in various ways. Each kind of movie that they're doing. Mexico was just Norway, and Ratatouille was that. So it's like, yeah, you. But yes, there's some, Space Mountain world that, yeah, it's for kids. Avatar, one I would say go in 2019 it was the kids got to go twice, and so Alex couldn't go. My husband took them, so they got to go twice. That's like 700 minutes. It was just so much fun. Your roof and like the floor to go 60 miles with the. The shooting games, I like that. Magic Kingdom 2021. That was a whole ordeal. Could make a reservation. We got cool. It was like a combo where says the Empire. That was actually, it's like Africa, only you was there. I mean, so
I do have to admit though, the Disney and the world worked in my head. Because if you really think too hard,
I gotta say the Rock Disney coaster that's like you're zooming to Aerosmith songs and the freeway in Los Angeles, an inversion, and if you're into that, there. All right, Disney is our love of the week our question is a bit of a plan. Alternatives, like if you've decided experiences.
You're looking for the theme park experience and your kids are younger and perhaps your budget is smaller, you should consider Key in comparison, but there are more areas. It's just a lower stakes experience, the two, and they're different, but that's.
Would throw in right there and just has reason that you can stay in like fits in terms of you got the Fast Pass equivalent affiliated hotels. So, Universal experience and particular roller coasters are roller coaster aficionado Universal experience just aimed different one time going to, I didn't go to the one in Florida, but it was great. It was just more aimed at children.
I bought my first pair of very popular shoe choice varieties. I think some of them but they were really, really comfortable during right before we left. I started shoe and I was like, that's not a good thing. They're really cute. And there you go.
Totally non-Disney, but my love of Pennsylvania, it has now seen me through years. I had a Eddie Bauer, and so on approximately 5 months, much as non-Disney as, being where there. So coat, but some warmer weather. I that cold and wanting to, so something sewed. We will be back.
Sarah at the Shoebox. Laura at Laura. This has been the best. Next time, for more.